Today we are going to apply what we have learned in our recent episode about using the ESP-NOW protocol to create a smart doorbell using two ESP boards. We have the outdoor unit in which you could add a push button to trigger the doorbell or a motion sensor. Here I have used an AR sensor. So whenever we have someone at the door, we're going to be notified with this message, motion movement detected. Also, we can trigger the doorbell using the push button. And you hear the buzzer. For me, I have used the AR sensor, but you could replace it with a motion sensor to detect motions at the door. And without any further ado, let's dive right into it. So here we're going to follow the blog post about the smart doorbell with the ESP-NOW protocol, whether it's an ESP32 or an ESP8266. For me, I have added a motion detection, doorbell button, OLED screen, a buzzer, but you could customize it as you like. This project contains two units, one at the door of your home, which is going to detect a motion or a button press. Then it's going to send this data to the other ESP board, and it's called the indoor unit. Basically, I'm going to add an OLED screen so that we can see some messages, as well as a buzzer to be notified. You could also send back some notifications to the other unit and make two-way communication instead of one-way. Today, I'm going to make it simple. To follow along with this episode, you will need the Arduino IDE so that we can put the code and upload it to our boards. And make sure that you have the ESP32 and the ESP8266 support. We've talked about that under our first episode about using the ESP32 board with the Arduino IDE. To send some data from the first unit to the second one, we need to get the MAC address of the receiver so that we can send the message or the information to it. In this case, it's the ESP32. So to get its MAC address, we're going to upload a sketch, and that's our first step. Let's go ahead and copy it. Open up the Arduino IDE and paste it. Make sure to select the right board. For my computer, the ESP32 is connected to the COM number 3, and the code supports the ESP8266 as well. Once it's done uploading, we open up the serial monitor and selecting the baud rate 115-200. You may need to reset the board. And there you go. Here's the MAC address that we're going to use under the code of the second board. We're going to send the data to the other board using its MAC address. Now we're going to talk about the circuit diagrams for each board. The first one is a WeMOS D1 Mini, which is the outdoor unit. You could use a PIR sensor for motion detection. Simply connect the VCC to the 5-volt pin, the ground to the ground to power it up. And we could know the motion detection using the output pin that I'm going to connect it to the digital pin number 6. Also, we have a push button. We need to select one of its leads to the ground and the second one to the other digital pins like D3. So we're going to use the push button as a pull-up resistor, which outputs low when we press the button. For the connection, I have used a breadboard and few jumper wires. Let's move on to the next circuit diagram about using the indoor unit. For me, it's an ESP32, but it doesn't matter. You could use any expressive system boards. Here we have two components, an OLED screen, which is optional if you want to see some data, and you could replace it with an LCD screen so that you can see the messages as well. Luckily, it is using an I2C communication, which means you only have to connect two pins. The SDA goes to the SDA of the board, which you could find from the pinout diagram of the board. For me, it is the pin number 21. Next, we have the SEL pin that goes to the SEL, and it is the pin number 22. Also, we need to power it up by connecting the ground to the ground and the VCC to the 5-volt pin. Finally, we have the buzzer to ring the doorbell, a ground that goes to the ground, and the positive lead goes to one of the pins that we're going to control. In my case, I have used the GPIO pin number 27, and that's the connection for the indoor unit. The same thing, I have used the breadboard to make the connections. Once you are done with these circuits, we can move on to the code. Here we have the transmitter code that's going to work for an ESP32 or an ESP8266. You simply have to copy it, but we're going to explain it. Of course, this is the code of the outdoor unit, which is our WeMOS D1 Mini. I'm going to copy it, then paste it using Ctrl V. Make sure to select the right board. For me, it's the WeMOS D1 Mini. As I said, it needs the MAC address of the other board that you need to replace. For me, I've already done that. And that's all what you have to change. Now you could upload the sketch and test it. But first I want to explain a few things. On top, we are including the libraries that we need, like the Wi-Fi library as well as the ESP-NOW.h library. To exchange the data, we need to create a new type. For this project, I have only used an integer. When we send the value 0, that means we have a button press. And if we send the value 1, it means that we have motion detection. That's how we can create a new type using the C++ language. Next, we can create a variable, or it's called an object, using this type, doorbell message, and it is called message that we're going to use in this code. The button pin is connected to the pin D3. The motion pin is D6. If you have used other pins, make sure to change it as well. Under the setup, we are initializing the serial monitor. Also, we are setting the pin modes. In order to use the ESP-NOW protocol, we have three major steps. First, we initialize the board in station mode and the ESP-NOW protocol. Then we register the peer by setting the MAC address of the other board so that we can send data to it. And finally, we can add the code that will actually send it using one line of code. You will see all of these steps like initialization. Next, we are registering the peer by setting the MAC address. And under the loop, we can focus on the logic of this project, like detecting the button press. If we read a low voltage, that means we have pressed the button. For the motion sensor, when it's high, that means we have a motion detected. Some of these sensors can work in an opposite way. For example, the AR sensor returns low when it is triggered by an object. That's why I'm going to change it to low. It's not the case for the motion sensor. And finally, we can send the right message, whether we have a button pressed or a motion detected. We can set the type of the message to 0 or 1 and send it to the other board using the send message function. It's going to work for an ESP32 using one command, ESP-NOW send, that takes in the MAC address as well as the message size and the actual message. Now make sure to select the right board and upload the sketch. Finally, we can move on to the receiver code, which you could find under the blog post as well. I'm going to copy it, then add it to the Arduino IDE. Make sure to select the second board now. The same thing, I want to explain it a bit. On top, we have the same libraries to use the ESP-NOW protocol, but we need the GFX and the SSD1306 libraries in order to work with the OLED screen so that we can display the messages. Make sure to install them using the library manager. The first one is Adafruit GFX, and it's by Adafruit. Also, we have the Adafruit SSD1306. We've already installed it in our recent episodes. Next, we have some variables related to the screen, like the size, as well as its address. This could be 0x3c or 0x3f, so make sure to use 3f if it doesn't work. Then we have created an object, which is called display, using the parameters on top. We must have the same data structure to get the data under this code. So we have a new type, which is called doorbell message, that has one value. It is called type. Next, we have the buzzer pin so that we can control it. We are initializing the display, and we are setting the pin mode, as well as initializing the board and the ESP-NOW protocol. At the beginning, we are displaying the message ready, doorbell is waiting. And the most important code is under this method. It is called onDataReceived. So this method or function is going to be called each time we get data from the other board. It's going to be called automatically because we have registered this method using the ESP-NOW protocol. Each time we receive the data, we can copy its message and put it under our received message that we have declared on top. And it has the same type, doorbell message. Then you could write whatever you want. For example, we can check if the type is 0. That means we have a button press. We can display the message doorbell, someone at the door, and ring the buzzer using a function, which will basically turn the buzzer on and off 3 times. But when a motion is detected, we can write other message like motion, movement detected, and ring the buzzer 1 time. So these two functions are not built in. It contains some code. The ring buzzer is actually turning the buzzer on and off using the digital write command. And the display message function will use the display object to display two lines. For the first line, I have used ready, and for the second one, doorbell waiting, or we can display motion, motion detected, and nothing under the loop because all of the logic is created under the method on data received, which is called each time we receive the data. Now we can upload the sketch to the other board, which is our indoor unit. And now we can test it. We have the message ready, doorbell waiting. Let's ring the doorbell. Yeah, it's working. Also, we have the other sensor to detect the motion or if we have a person at the door. So I think that's all for this episode. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. That helps me a lot in creating these videos. And I will see you in the next one.